Welcome to the channel. If you are watching this video, that means you are ready to move forward with your CDA portfolio. This video is just to give you a few tips and techniques on how to compile your CDA portfolio and make it professional as possible. So let's get started. The first thing you will need is your CDA book. The second thing you will surely need is a binder. The third thing you will need is some dividers. And then you will also need the clear sheets for your binder to place all your documents in. So, first thing first, let's turn to page 14 in your textbook. This will help you with your resource collection. And as you can see at the top, it says preparing your portfolio, professional portfolio. And then it goes all the way up to page 16. Now let's take a look at our CDA portfolio. So first, if you want, you can place a nice little cover sheet onto the front of your notebook. And then you will first place this form right here, which you will find located in your CDA textbook. It is towards the back, and at the top it says My CDA Professional Portfolio. You will place your name, you will place your ID number that you will get once you have completed your online application, and then it gives you A through J. And it also gives you a side where you can check it off as you go. At the bottom, you are to sign it and put a date on it. So don't put a date on it until you have everything checked off. Now we're coming to tab A. And in this tab, you will have to find your summary of CDA education. This is also in your textbook towards the back. And this is just telling you that you have completed all of these trainings in order to take your CDA. So you will check off that you have taken all of these trainings, 120 hours. Then you'll sign it and date it again. Then you can have like a summary of your CDA, and this is where your certificate from whomever training you are going through. And I am with UPO, United Planet Organization, where we provide training for our students. So make sure it's up to 120 hours. With my students, I do not allow them to move forward with their practicum until they have done all 120 hours. And then as you're doing your practicum and you are doing other trainings, you can place those here, as well as placing your high school or GED. That must be placed into your portfolio. High school diploma or your GED. Okay, tab B or 2, whichever one you have. So this tab is where you are having your family questionnaires. You will also find your family questionnaires, which looks like this, in your book. You will make copies depending on how many children in your classrooms. And once you do your family questionnaires, you want to get at least half of your students' families to complete the family questionnaires. You will place them in your binder, so you will probably need a few more extra clear sheets like these, and so that you can place them in your binder. You will also fill out this form located in your book, and you will have this for your PD specialist. And it tells you how many you gave out, how many you collected, and then you talk about your strengths and your professional growth. tab C. This is the tab where your information from your verification visit will be. Once you have completed your family questionnaires and you looked over what your families are speaking of, you will put your strengths in A and B. You fill these two out before your verification visit, and then you fill out the other 4 slots once you have met with your PD specialist. And then there's another side to it. And you also do this with your PD specialist. And this is where you set your goals. If you've taken a class with me, we've talked about setting goals for ourselves. That is where you will place your goals. And then you will sign. And then your PD specialist will sign as well. Okay, tab D. This is where we're getting to it. All that hard work of your resources are right here. So, tab D. This is your competency statement 1 area. And this is where you will put your competency statement. And as you can see with my students, I asked them to break down each area. Safety. Make sure we talk about young infant, mobile infants, and toddlers, because that is important, because our milestones are different for those age groups. So we want to make sure we're providing a safe area for each of those milestones. And then health. Of course, we know what young infants and mobile infants and toddlers eat are different. The stages are different. So you want to make sure that you break those down. And I ask all of my students to do it. Competency statement 1, 2, and 3. So now when it comes to your resources, your CPR first aid must be current, and you must have a copy of it inside of your resource binder or your portfolio. Resource 1, 2, you want to make sure you label those 1 and then the second part, because some of our resources ask for 1 or 2 different areas. And that is your menu. You collect this when you're at the center. And this is a menu for toddler, and you want to also have a menu for infants. Then resource 3 is asking us about our lesson plans. Let me turn this a little. And these are our lesson plans. If your center is doing teaching strategies, you can get this from your center as well. Now we're on E, tab E. And this is competency statement 2. And that is talking about physical, cognitive, communication, and creative. Sorry about the blurriness. So you will usually have your competency statement here or right behind that introduction tab. Again, you want to break them down. In physical, it should be talking about young infant, mobile infant, and toddlers, different stages. So you want to make sure you keep that up. And so in your resource binder, what is needed off page 15 is 9 learning experiences. So you want to make sure you have 3 for toddlers, 3 for a mobile infant, and 3 for young infants. And as you can see, this one is for our toddler, and this is fine motor. And this is just a learning experience. One thing you want to make sure, a few things you want to make sure is on here is the age group, the activity, which developmental stage you are speaking of, materials, the goal, what the children will get out of it, teaching strategies, how you will do this as the teacher, would you give it to them, how you'll place it, And then the developmentally appropriate. How is it developmentally appropriate for that toddler? And you can add pictures so you can see. Here is another one, again, for toddlers. And this one is talking about math. And this is an I Spy. Teaching them their numbers in a fun way. Then again, here we have toddlers again. Gross motor. Bowling activity. Have a picture to go with it. As you can see, it has activity, the goal, materials. All of that is included. Now we're going over to F. And this is our self, social, and guidance area. Add little pictures. I love pictures. Make it creative. Make it your own. And of course, your competency statement will go behind that page, and then you will do your 10 bibliographies. And with your bibliographies, you want to make sure you pick books that are talking about different subjects. You could talk about children with special needs, cultural identity, phases of life, where you could talk about the parents going to work, the children going to the doctors. Those are all good books to speak on. And you want them all to be different. It's so many books out here that can support vocabulary development and social development for children. Just research them. So the one thing you will need is what topic you're speaking on. You want to have at the top the title, the author's name, publisher, copyright, and your summary. And a cute picture never hurts. Okay. Now we're on G. And our G will be our families and how we will promote positive, productive relationships with our families. And as you can see with this competency statement, we no longer need to break it down because our families, no matter if they have infants or toddlers or mobile infants, we are all working with them and building trusting relationships all the same. So you could do 1 or 2 paragraphs for that, for families. And the great thing about families is that we are creating a family resource guide. Very important for our centers to provide that important information. And then with our resource guide, we have 4 different areas. So where you see resource collection 4.1, we want to make sure we break them down so we know what we're looking for. So on resource 4.1, we need to find and give the name and contact information on local agencies for family counseling. So we have one, which is our Capitol Hill. So right here, we have their name, their address, an email, and also a phone number. Make sure all of that's on there. So now we're going on resource 4.2. This one is asking us for agencies that help with translation and American Sign Language. So here we go. Hands in motion. As you can see, numbers, address, a little description. That's what they like to see. And here's another one from Aussie, language access, a little description, address, phone number, and also a contact person. Even better. Resource 4.3 is asking us to find 2 agencies that helps with disabilities in our children. About families. So here is one, as you can see, phone number, address, a brief description, and they even broke it down of how you can do urgent care. And they gave a few more information how they promote with transportations. And then our other agency is Strong Start. And this is a brochure. Let me turn it around so we can see this one. And this brochure helps us understand early intervention, give us the services, how they can help. And then right here, it shows us the number, email, how to contact, and it got a nice picture. The other great thing about this program is that they give you a map on how the process works. Okay, love it. And it's also in Spanish. Great to have that. So our last part of our resource guide for our families is resource 44. This is where they're asking about 3 agencies and a brief description and also an updated article from one of the agencies. Updated article for each agency, So I picked Strong Start for one of the agencies. And here is their article. So remember, you need to have at least 3. So I only have 1. And you can find these agencies online. Okay. We're moving right along. So now we're on H. Wow. How did we get there? So with H, we are doing Competency Statement 5. Let's see, nice and colorful again. And this is Program Management. So on our resources for that, again, just a nice paragraph. How you will handle your program. And then this is the area where you're doing record keeping forms. As you can see, our agency in Washington, D.C. is OSSI. So you can find these forms on their website. Just type in OSSI and you can type in forms and it will give you a list of forms. You can also get these documents from the center when you are doing your practicum hours. Here's another form. And they want you to have 3 samples of record keeping. And then they want you to have at least an observation or developmental form, which is where the ASQ. And you can find the ASQ as well online. Just type in ASQ3 and then it gives you a list of different months that you can do the ASQ. Pick a month and print it out if you like. This is how the back of it looks. Now we're on I. And this is professionalism. Again, your competency. And now your resources needed. We have 3 areas here. Resource 6.1 wants to know about your licensing agency. Here we are, OSSI. They give us the address, their hours, email, phone number, another number 711 to get a contact, and it gives you the different languages you can find the documents in. Also, a little bit more detail. It talks about how the licensing process works. And then it asks you about the adult-child ratio. That is so important to know. So please make a copy of that. You can find this as well on OSSI's website. It also asks you about the qualifications for your director and for your teachers and for you guys who are assistant teachers or teachers one, depending on the center you're going to be at. So as you can see, it gives you your qualifications and responsibilities. But I want you guys to look at this note here. This is a new requirement for all my CDA teachers. If you want to continue in the field, OSCE is mandated that you guys have your AA degree by December 2023. And you can go on their website and they'll help you with ways to get your AA degree and programs you can go through. Just make a note of that. Okay, moving along. So now we're on resource 6.2, where we are giving a list of 3 early childhood associates, including the website. You want the professional resources and the membership. So you want to see where you will be going for your membership. And this talks about the membership. It gives you an address, give you a number. It tells you what they're affiliated with, how you can build your skills, so many ways. And it tells you about the membership, if it's free, if it costs a fee, all of those are here. Another membership is 0 to 3. So they're talking about their discounts and their virtual events and their annual conferences of when you become a member, all the benefits. And then it gives you the membership information. And then our last one is NACE, National Association for the Education of Young Children. Gives you this information. Again, address, phone number, website. Then it gives you a little description. Great. Now our last one is the resource 6.3. And this is where we talk about our child abuse and neglect and our mandatory reporting. So this is where you will send your report in. As you go along, it gives you more information on responsibilities and liabilities. Again, the number, things you will provide when you give them a call. And you can include, if you do take the mandated reporting, which all should do, and you have the handout, you can place that in there as well. Now we're on J. Okay, coming to the end. This is where you'll put your professional philosophy. This is what you've been working on all through this 120 hours of how you will become a great teacher and provide support to our families and our children and be a great co-teacher and a great staff member. So here we go. Your philosophy, they would like it to be typed and at least 500 words. Talking about yourself shouldn't be so hard. So the last thing I want to show you guys is to make sure when you are ready for your verification visit is to have these forms inside your book. You want to make sure you have your textbook the day of your verification visit. You want to make sure you have your binder and make sure that you do that checklist so that everything that we have went through in the book is in there. So you want to make sure. So thank you. I appreciate you coming onto the page to learn great tips and techniques for compiling your CDA portfolio. If you like this video, click the like button and subscribe, and I will update more videos as time go on. And thank you guys for coming over. I pray you all receive your CDA certification, and I hope this video was helpful. Thank you.